towards the end of last year, I thought to myself, I want to understand God more. The best way to understand God more. And here's the thing with that. First of all, our minds, our human brains cannot even begin to comprehend God and his abilities, right? I know for me, sometimes I tend to put God in a human box, and his thoughts are not our thoughts. His ways are not our ways. Hallelujah. I'm so grateful. I don't exactly know the location of that verse in the Bible. Baby, it's in there, okay? Check it out for yourself. But I'm so glad that his thoughts are not our thoughts and his ways are not our ways, because I know what happens for me is, and Lo kind of got on me for with this, being afraid to ask the Lord for things. And I'm still trying to explore and figure out where that comes from. But for me, I think some of it is because I am minimizing God and putting him in a human box. So in my mind, I think to myself, I can't ask him for that because he can't do it, which I know is not true. He can do anything and will do anything that he wants. However, comma, I said all that to say, I wanted to dive into the Bible more to just basically grow intimacy with the Lord for my own faith journey, and to understand his word. His word is living, it is breathing. It's here, right here for us. And the thing that even got me into reading the Bible was, I just became very fascinated because for what I was going through and everything that I was going through, there was a solution in the Bible. The Bible is the gameplay. One more time. The Bible is the gameplay. No matter what it is that you're going through, you can find guidance within the Bible. Anywho, I said all that to say, while I was reading Leviticus, baby, if you have ever read Leviticus, then you know it is. I've read a few books of the Bible so far, like studying them. This is my second time reading Leviticus. And this go around, I can say it is way easier than the first go around. But maybe that first go around, I was just kind of stuck like Chuck. It took me weeks to get through it. But I got this thought while I was reading it, and it has absolutely nothing to do with what I was reading. However, that's the thing. When you read the Bible, God's going to speak to you in different ways, right? Like what I read, maybe that day I'm not getting anything, but at the end of the day, just because God didn't speak something directly to me, it doesn't mean that I didn't, you know what I mean, need to read the Bible. Some people think that God is a genie, and he's not. It's not a, oh, well, if I do this and the Lord's going to give me that, that's prosperity, right? No, we are reading to grow intimacy and to have that relationship with the Lord. The thing that hit me was, where you are right now is exactly where you need to be.
What's up, fam? It is Sunday, March 30th, 12:16. It is a rest day, and I'm so grateful because your girl is tired. So y'all are going to spend my rest day with me, and I'm going to go over just like a couple of tips and things and some challenges that I have had that I just recently realized I'd been having when it comes to rest. But first things first, announcement. We are officially 10 weeks out. Okay. 10 weeks out from the DC Pro. This will be my first show this season. I'm hype. Coach gave me the go on Thursday when I checked in. I'll leave some photos of what we're currently looking like. And oh my goodness, I am so excited. I've talked about on my socials just how body dysmorphia has really been a thing for me this prep, just not being able to see clearly. First of all, understand that every prep is different. We say it all the time, right? Alexis and I say it all the time on the podcast. However, every prep is different. So I use past the last prep as like my research and development. But the thing that's getting me is, first of all, I basically haven't been on stage in 2 years. So I'll be getting on stage in June 2025. My last time on stage was July 2023 after I got my pro card. I did my pro debut. We sat down. The plan was to compete last year, but that didn't happen. Life be lifing. And I got really down and hard on myself because I was not able to compete. And I felt like, oh my gosh, like I've wasted time. I don't have any more muscle. I didn't build enough. And what I did was I went through my prep files and I found my physique from 2023 when I was 10 weeks out from winning my pro card versus 10 weeks out now. And I'll put that up here too. And you can see the changes. I didn't really start noticing and clocking in like things that look significantly different until February. And the key thing for me that is different is my waistline. So in 2024, I was just battling a lot, just life, stress. We put on more body fat than we needed just due to being more sedentary and also just stress, right? Everyone's body responds differently. And bodybuilding just was not at the top notch of my priority list. I was trying to manage my life, manage my career, and just trying to figure out what the heck was going on, right? And so with that, like we atrophied my back intentionally because after my 2023 season, we saw, okay, this is a lot, let's take back day away. But because I just wasn't banging it out in 2024, my physique is now way more streamlined. I have balance. So I was kind of like, okay, all things work together for the good, amen, because I was upset at myself because I felt like I wasn't a good athlete. I wasn't a good pro, just all the nonsense stuff you tell yourself. And now I'm looking, I'm like, that actually ended up benefiting for me. And so one of my biggest concerns was my back, my waistline, which they have come in drastically, and then my glutes. I felt like, okay, did I hit it hard enough? Did my glutes grow any? And I can see, okay, yes, we've got some glute growth. So I'm very pleased with how things are looking. And one thing that I have to contribute to this is me seriously taking my rest and recovery seriously. How many times can we say seriously? This is something that I've always been bad at. This is something that I just overestimated. I'm a busybody. I'm always doing things. However, I now am understanding it. But first things first, right now, I need to go through my kit because Charlotte Pro is in 2 weeks. The competition season is happening and we need to go to Sephora because I need to get some things for that. And also I need to update some stuff in my kit, you know what I mean? So we're going to do that. That's going to be part of our rest day. I think one of the big key components when it comes to rest that a lot of people tend to get wrong is they either do this. They either don't rest their body at all, like they're still up doing the most, or they sit on the sofa and just rot. So the thing is, for a active rest day for me, I still want to make sure that I'm up moving my body because I can tell you right now, my body is wanting to slow down. So I need to make sure that I am still doing my day-to-day task, right? So I want to make sure that I am, cleaning my house, doing chores, because I think sometimes we get lost in prep and I tell folks, touch grass, like we still have to do things. We still have to go do our chores. We still have to clean our house. We still have to go to the grocery store. We still have to adult. We still have to, just do day-to-day life. It's not just prep and nothing else, However, on the flip side of that, when you're so tired, it can just be easy to sit down. I was fighting for my life the other day because my body just wanted to stop. It didn't want to do anything. And I know what's going on. And I just told myself, okay, girl, get up. This is the perfect time to find a small house task. This is what helps me a lot. So maybe I'll reorganize a kitchen drawer, or if I'm feeling adventurous, I'll start, a project of decluttering a closet, something like that, where it's not high intensity, it's not rough on the body, but you're still in motion. So for me right now, I'm just going to go through my kit really quick and make a list of what I need. And then we're going to go to Costco to get some household things and then go to Sephora.
But this pain and this agony that we can experience in figuring out what it is that God has for us now as well. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much that we get to come here together as your sons and your daughters. Thank you that we get to walk this walk with you, Jesus. Our muscles are going to go away, so we need to keep training our minds, keep training our thinking, keep reminding ourselves to think about the good things of God's word. That's it for today's episode. Thank you.
Okay, looking at my time, I am going to be checking the easy box. And when I say easy box, that's going to be getting my groceries delivered. This is something that I personally have found extremely helpful for me. sometimes I find myself getting overwhelmed because I have so many things to do. And so, do like the wealthy, they will need to focus on their zone of genius and pay someone else to do the other stuff. That's what I'm doing. All right, got my Costco order in. If I didn't have to prep for the seminar, then I would have happily gone walking around, get extra steps. However, on the flip side of that, like when you are dieting, sometimes walking around a store with a bunch of food and it's Sunday is going to be busy, so that's going to break my brain. Have all the samples out. Sometimes just like, you know what? Let's just not. But also, since it is a rest day, that means macros are lower, which this makes sense to me, right? So I've always done carb cycling. So basically, you'll have some higher days and lower days. So on my lower days, it is on a rest day because I'm not training, I'm not doing cardio, therefore I don't need as much food. I will say this though, even with it being a rest day, like right now I'm hungry. So I've already had my first meal of the day. My first meal of the day was 83 grams of rice, 140 grams of ground beef, 93, excuse me, and then I did 30 grams of avocado. And then next up, I'm just going to have my little snacky snack. So I'm going to do rice cakes and my Lesion protein powder. And I'm going to do a video soon. Oh, hello, son. Let's turn this way. I'm going to do a video soon on supplements, but Lesion protein powder, y'all know I have a lactose sensitivity, so I can only do plant-based protein powder. This tastes so good. This is salted caramel. I'm out of apple pie. I'm just waiting for them to send me some more, but apple pie is my absolute favorite. Plant-based protein powders are tricky because most of the time they taste like grass. This is amazing. It tastes so good. And if you have a creamy, which I do have a creamy, shout out to Lex and Olivia, they got me one last year. Freaking amazing. So Lesion, first order, you use Amberp, you get 20% off. After that, you won't get a discount, but please use my code because that supports me. And what happens is you do rack up points and then you get more money off later on. So it is a low day, and I'll tell y'all what my macros are. I'm definitely not that person who's like, oh, I don't want to tell you what my macros are because I don't want you to do it. At this point in the game, you should know your body is your body, my body is my body. You can eat like me, you can train like me, you're not going to look like me because I am unique just like you. God made me different from you. You feel me? So for calories, they're basement low. This is basement low for me, okay? So 1250. That is low for me. Protein stays the same, 150. Fats are 30 and carbs are 95. And currently right now for my high day, calories are 1410, protein 150, fat 30, carbs 135. So I'm just going to make myself my protein shake with my 2 rice cakes. The white cheddar rice cakes have been my jam, and then we're going to head over to Sephora. I am convinced that it would not be an Amberp vlog if we didn't have some form of car chit chat, right? So fun fact, I think I'm just going to pull all artificial sweeteners from my macros. I don't use a ton, just things more like coffee syrups. I'll occasionally have a Celsius. Like, I'm not an energy drink kind of girl. I'm not a pre-workout kind of girl. Like, I don't do all of those things. But definitely like coffee creamers and probably more so like condiments of like sugar-free sauces. So that's why I made sure to get fresh salsa from Costco because that's better than all the sugar-free stuff. But I said all that to say when it comes to drinking black coffee, I can do it when it's cold. And I don't know why, but I realized last show day, I prefer to have cold coffee in the morning on show day. I don't know why that is, but I might just transition over to drinking cold coffee in the morning because I have no problems drinking that black. This is just a can I picked up. I was traveling somewhere and never got around to drinking it, but the Nitro Cold Blue Brew by Starbucks. And then I also have the Colombian coffee. I bought it from Costco because I ain't trying to be paying like $3 a can for a Starbucks can of cold brew, you dig? So that's going to happen. And then, yeah, that's just so good. This is just so easy to drink. No additives, no nothing. The other day I was thinking about this video because I knew I wanted to do a rest and recovery video, just sharing my tips and things that have helped me. But it had me thinking, and of course, y'all already know we about to get spiritual, we about to get biblical. So grab your pens, your Bibles, whatever the case may be. But outside of bodybuilding, resting is something that I have always struggled with. I've spoken about it before. I know a lot of it just goes back to me idolizing work, feeling like I'm not worthy if I'm not working, if I'm not grinding, if I'm not hustling, all of those things. And that is not healthy. And also all of those things are lies. We don't have to do anything to earn our love or salvation or worth from God. He is gracious. His grace is sufficient for us. So we don't have to do anything. I also found that I would have moments where I felt like I was trying to prove myself to God as well. And that's not right. At the end of 2024, I read a book called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, and it was so eye-opening to me, and it talks about Sabbath. Sabbath is something that I have been working on and have just really been trying to get into it, and I'll be honest with y'all, this is an area of my life I struggle with. And when I say Sabbath, I don't mean it from a Pharisee standpoint, right? Like, oh, on Sundays, you can't do this, you can't do that. No. Everyone's life is different, right? It doesn't matter if you choose your Sabbath day for a Sunday, a Tuesday, a Thursday, whatever the case may be, but you need a day of rest, because I say this all the time to other women when I'm just speaking to them, pouring into them. God is God, right? He keeps this whole thing turning. So in Genesis, it states, on the seventh day, God rested. So if God rested, why is it that you think that we can keep going and going and going with the Energizer Bunny? You cannot. We are not created to do that. And also it is not healthy. And also keep in mind, Jesus would go off into secluded areas. He would leave his disciples. He would leave the people that he was preaching to during his ministry, and he would take time to rest. He would go seek the Lord. He would have quiet time and he would pray. So it just goes to show that biblically, we are set up to rest. We are set up to Sabbath. We hear it all the time. You cannot pour from an empty cup, right? So knowing that I already have that struggle, just that fleshly struggle, that fleshly desire to just keep going, because the more you do, the better, which is absolute trash. It did not land me. Honestly, now that I am coming out of it, I cannot say that it helped me along my journey. If anything, it hurt me, right? Because what it also shows is that a lack there of faith, of me operating in my own will, thinking that I am the ultimate sole provider, that if I don't do these things, then nothing will happen. And that's not the case. And that's a lack there of faith, right? So knowing that I have that issue, it also spilled over into me as far as bodybuilding. You have to rest. You tear up your muscles, right? You go, intensity is high, you're ripping your muscles up, you're eating your protein. The number one part of building muscle is going to be that rest aspect. You have to sleep, you have to rest your body. And so knowing that I already struggled with resting and then spilling that over into bodybuilding, I had an aha moment last week, because last week, out of my entire time of bodybuilding, so I've been bodybuilding for 6 years straight now, that was the first time that I had a true 100% rest day. I know, that is terrible. And as I was sitting there, just the level of peace that I got, and I thought to myself, okay, Lord, I get it. I understand. Like, my mind's not working overtime. I'm sitting, I'm resting, I'm praying, I'm reading. It just automatically clicked. And that's when I realized, okay, the reason why you struggle with this is because this has just been an ongoing struggle. So regardless if we bodybuilding or not, you still need to rest, right? So even if you're watching this and you are not an athlete, you're not a bodybuilder, at the end of the day, we are only humans. We are not God. We are not robots. We cannot be on this rat race regardless of what the world will tell you, regardless of what culture will tell you, because what we really have to keep in mind is we live in the world, but we are not of the world. And that is something that I have just been replaying in my mind over and over and over, because let's keep it a buck. It's real easy to get caught up. It is real easy to submerge yourself in something, get caught up on social media. Well, this is what everyone's doing. This is what I have to do to grow my business. This is what I have to do to grow my platforms, my personal brand, all the things. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because first of all, when God is in the forefront, when God is in the center of whatever it is that you have going on, he is going to see you through. You don't need no algorithm when you have God. Amen. Amen. So I said all that to say, last week I had that aha moment as to why rest and recovery on all fronts of my life were a struggle. It is such a beautiful day outside, so I'm able to get a little bit of steps in because, again, like I was saying earlier, just making sure you get movement. Don't just rot on the sofa. So my main goal for just like my regular days is always 10K steps. On a rest day, I ain't gonna hold you. I typically don't get 10K. However, I try to strive for 8K. And I can typically do that by going for a walk, right? I got 2 dogs, so there's no excuses as to why I shouldn't be outside walking. But even if you don't have dogs, go outside, get some fresh air, get some sunlight, Lord have mercy, get some vitamin D, because that's going to lift up your mood. But then also you're going to get some movement in and get that step count up, because even if you're an athlete, for a lot of y'all, if you're struggling to lose weight, 9 times out of 10, it's probably because you are not moving your body, right? So I find that whenever I am helping someone, also I'm taking clients now. So lifestyle, you want to lose body fat, you want to get fit, you want to gain some muscle, you want to do competition prep, you want to be fit model or bikini, I got you, girl. But the biggest thing that I see for a lot of clients that I have that are lifestyle, they're not moving. A lot of people have sedentary jobs, they work from home, and so their step count a day is maybe 3,000. You're never, you can diet yourself down, you can train hard, 3,000 steps a day is just simply not going to cut it. You need to move your body. So I always start off my clients with the goal of at least 8K, but letting them know we're trying to push it up to 10, because that's the other thing too, like set realistic goals. Sometimes people set these large, grandiose goals, and then you're defeated within 1 week because it's a goal that you can't really hit right then and there, right? So I'm all about setting yourself up for a win, setting yourself up for success. So let's start at 8K, and then once we get there, we can bump it up. But I said all that to say, move that body, girl. All right, fam, so we got our Sephora goodies. We'll do a little haul when we get home. Let me tell you something. It smells so good out here. There's like a bazillion little restaurants and bars, and the smells are smelling. I don't even know what it is. I just know I want it. But we can't do that because we got business to handle and things to do. So on that note, we're gonna head on out of here, go home, do a little holly haul, eat another meal, and then prep for the seminar. And we still have a few more recovery tips and whatnot. Something else that has been super helpful for the recovery aspect with me, and this is a no-brainer, right? This is one of those things that we know we should be doing, but we just don't do. Stretching. My God. Stretching. I now make sure to stretch before every single lift, okay? And yes, I'm the type of person who I just want to get in and get out. I am not the girl that's going to be in the gym for 2.5 hours. Absolutely not. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. An hour and a half is far too long for me to be in the gym. My upper body workouts do not take me long because it's just getting a pump. I'm not focusing on progressive overload. I'm not trying to grow my upper body, so therefore my tempo isn't super slow. I don't need a bunch of time under tension. It's literally get a pump, get some blood flow, and get out. So I can do my upper body workout in 30 minutes. Lower body, if I'm not recording, not trying to take content, we can get it done in 45 minutes. However, sometimes now what's going on is just depending on how tired I am, right? So as my body starts to slow down, I tend to need a little bit more time to recover in between sets, because when it comes to lower body, I am pushing myself hard. But due to strength coming down, I know that is going to be switching up very soon, because what happens is once you start getting leaner, once you're in a caloric deficit, you're not as strong as you used to be. So I'm coming to that place where PRs ain't the name of the game. Progressive overload, I'm not really too much worried about it. It's try to go, as heavy as I possibly can without getting injured, but I am focusing on more so tempo and time under tension. That is something that I get really laser focused on with the lower body, especially as my strength starts to leave me, right? So stretching is key, and even stretching at nighttime. So making sure that my body just isn't locked up. A lot of my injuries and just all these little glitches that I've had to work around just simply come from wear and tear on my body from doing hair. Unfortunately, in the beauty world, they don't teach us how to take care of our bodies. So yes, I was training. Yes, I was active. However, actually stretching, doing all these things, sitting down, taking breaks in between clients, all of that stuff, it does cause wear and tear on your body, which puts me into the next aspect is chiropractor. I am someone, I see the chiropractor once a week. So I have scoliosis. I have two curves in my spine. This is definitely something that I've had to work around as far as training. I was at a place where training was very difficult to me because just like everything just hurt. However, we have nursed my body back to health. And then this other thing that has been key, and I absolutely hate it with a passion, is body work. I've been seeing this girl named Lauren. I've seen her twice now. She's in the Charlotte area, so if you're local to me, definitely check her out. She's amazing. This is the first time I got body work done, and they worked on my neck. I don't know why I never thought about this. I have arthritis in the left side of my neck. Why has no one ever, you know what I mean? And she did my neck, and I was just kind of like, oh my God, it hurt like hell. It hurt so bad. However, it just made me think, wow. And body work is something that it is an investment, right? Chiropractor work is an investment. However, if you are definitely an athlete, you are a bodybuilder or whatever your sport is, you need to make sure you're taking care of your body. If you're someone who's in the beauty industry, if you're a dentist, if you have a job that requires you to be up on your feet, you're sticking your neck out, arms out, please get body work done, because I know for me, had I have been getting body work done before I even got into bodybuilding, I probably could have avoided the arthritis that I have on the left side of my neck. What happens is when it gets really bad and it flares up, I can't feel the left side of my body. I can't engage it. And so that is something I had to really work on as far as a lot of unilateral training, because what will happen is at one point, my left side, my left glute was had an imbalance. It wasn't the same size as my right. So just unilateral training. But I also know that if I'm training and I'm having a hard time engaging the left side of my body, that means we are not in a good place and I need to go get body work done. So please do not sleep on that, okay?
Yeah, this is my stool. All right, let's do a quick little haul, okay? Here's what we got, and I'll explain to you why I got these things. So currently in my kit right now, I have liquid blushes. These have been great. These have been fantastic. The e.l.f. liquid blushes are a dupe for the Rare Beauty. However, I'm over liquid blush right now, and I am running out, and these are due to expire. So keep in mind that liquid products expire way quicker. So you typically have so if you look, it'll say 12 months on it. What does this say? I need to go to the eye doctor. When I tell you reading the shade names of things have been kicking my butt at work. So I've been wearing glasses and contacts since I was in the 11th grade. So it's just, I'm out of contacts, and honestly, not trying to wear contacts with all this pollen, and I don't know where my glasses are right now, but it normally says 12 months. I always say year and a half. After that, toss it, but also keep in mind, like, because I use this so much, like the air, once the air gets into it, you know what I mean? So things are gonna start to turn a little bit. It might smell weird, but I'm over it. This one is basically empty. I'm scraping. However, so I got this one because it reminded me of Vanya. Can't wait to use this on her, but I love Danessa Myricks blushes. I like them because they are a very skin-like finish and they stay on all day long. They're bulletproof. So I already have Dancing Queen, and then I've been testing out Spice Latte at work for the past 2 weekends on clients, and I like this shade. It can be used to warm up the skin, which is perfect for what I do. And if you're a makeup artist watching this, the biggest piece of advice that I can give you, because this is what I did wrong, we get into the habit of watching our favorite MUAs, right? And, you know, they're talented, they're fantastic, you're seeing what they use, and so you think you need to use what they're using, and you don't take into consideration your demographic. Keep in mind, my main demographic is bodybuilders, so I'm going to have a lot of warm things. I'm going to have a lot of things that are they pop a little bit more bolder just because of what I do. But this is Spiced Latte, and there's a deeper one, but we don't have it at our location, so hopefully we get it so I can test that out. I believe it's called Mocha, and it's for deeper skin tones, but I've been loving this, using it at work. And then Rosé and Brunch. Perfect for stage glam. Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. And then this is Jubilee, which this is my favorite shade to wear myself personally. I got this for skin tones that are my shade, a shade lighter, a pinch deeper. This is going to pop. And I like shades that tend to be more so on a neutral side because it's not going to throw off any other thing as far as like the eyeshadow, but just enough to give some pop onto the skin. Jubilee is beautiful. So I got those three. And then ABH Brow Freeze. This stuff right here is a game changer, especially for someone who is blessed with brows and they have nice fluffy brows. I got the mini one because I don't see myself needing the big one. It's going to take a long time to go through it. But if you are someone who's got very, very full brows or just sprouse brow hairs, like you can't get them to stay in place, this stuff is amazing. A little bit's going to go a long way. You don't need a ton of it. And then I got some brow pencils. I was going to get ABH, but I just got Sephora Collection brow pencils because, you know, hello, save me some coin. And then I got black liner. This is my favorite black eyeliner of life. This is by Sephora Collection. It is the 12-hour color. And I got new lip liners because I've been using the Maybelline lip liners and I like them, but they're just, for now I'm like, this is way too slick. It is too slick. So I got the shade, let me see, what shade is this? This is in the shade Auburn. Beautiful. And the same thing with lip colors too. For lip liners, I need something that's deep because I always like the lip liner to be deeper than the actual color, because then the lip color on the lip, because that's going to give it a pop. And then this one is Dusty Rose. I was going between Dusty Rose and Rosewood. Dusty Rose. And then I got Malt. This one's really beautiful too. And also I'm trying to condense because I just know what shades I like to use. That's Malt. So these are beautiful. I was using these on clients as well. I like that they aren't slick. They just glide on. These have been nice, but they're just a little bit too slick. And that's the thing too, like as your artistry changes, you start to change what you like. And then I got a new lip color. This one is Rosy Mauve, and those lip liners were also ABH as well alongside with these. There are two other colors that I want to get. This one is Crush, and Rosy Mauve. This is going to look beautiful on stage. And then Crush. This is what I've been using on clients. I can do like a bunch of different lip combinations for various skin tones. So I use it on fair and I use it on deep skin tones as well. If I want to mix or make the center of the lips pop. Those are beautiful. Can y'all see? And that is our little Holly haul. All right, so while I'm like cleaning up and opening and shifting things around, another thing that I have noticed this go round is that this is the best my body has felt in a really long time. I'm talking just like with training, not feeling like those same glitches. And the last time my body felt good like this, and now that I even think about it, I didn't feel this good then, but it was in 2023. And there is one thing that tracks, that correlates when I think about it. And that one thing is I am not doing hair in the salon. As much as I love doing hair, it was one of those things that I finally came to terms with. It's not my portion. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And I cannot deny the fact that my body feels way better now that I'm not standing over a chair 4 to 3 times a week. It's just one of those things, right? And so it's almost like bittersweet. And it was one of those things that I've just been kind of wrestling with and asking the Lord, like, why'd you take my salon away from me? Why? How come I can't do it? I'm like, well, first of all, your body. I now know, because I did it, I left, I went back and left again. I now know that the wear and tear on my body from that I cannot handle. And then also too, just kind of made me think about like the future, because I'm very much so aware that I can't do stage glam forever either. Like, this is not news to me. And so that's why it's important to, you know, like, you don't want to stress yourself out about the future, right? Because like Jesus said, the birds don't worry about where they're going to get food. The flowers don't worry about how they're going to grow, you know, because I know I am someone that tends to get hyper fixated on the future. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But, you know, just being smart, being wise, I understand that right now in this season, because things happen in seasons, you know, and that was the hard thing. I realized that season of my life is over. And basically what I am doing is I'm trying to force something in an old season in a new season. And that's why it's not working. So it's like, sweetheart, you got to let it go. And so understanding that right now in this moment, you know, bodybuilding is the focus. And when I say bodybuilding is the focus, yes, me competing, but also on a deeper aspect, you know, helping out athletes, pouring into them, discipleship, ministering to them, you know what I mean? Helping someone with posing, helping someone lose weight, maybe even get on stage. Like, bodybuilding is the season that I'm in right now. And just understanding that, hey, we're going to do stage glam right now. But just like I had said, for me competing, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Now, even when I know when I do have to take a step away from stage glam, it doesn't mean that I won't be in bodybuilding industry anymore. I'll still be in it. I'm sure I will still, you know, do a couple shows here and there, but I also have to be mindful of my body for my own longevity and my future, you know? And that's why I'm also working so hard on the back end. Like, there are other things that I want to do within bodybuilding. There are other things that I am, you know, talking to the Lord about, and I'm getting ideas and just creating, because I am understanding seasons. And then also I have to honor the Lord and I have to honor my body, you know, because it is not wise counsel to keep putting your body through something and you're not well, you're not feeling good, you know? So, all right, let's eat.
This is the look that I did on my lovely model Olivia for the Stage Glam webinar for fair to light skin tones. If you were not able to make it and you have fair to light skin and you want to learn how to do your stage glam, it will be available for purchase on my website Friday, April 4th. You will get the full live demo and also all of my product recommendations. You will have access to this for life. Link in bio if you're interested.
All right, fam. So the stage glam webinar went so good. It is, oh, I got him some chocolate. He's been dieting hard. And so to keep him from having, you know, a little binge moment, because what he did was he tried to quit everything cold turkey, and then he would have a moment where he would get his hands on, I don't know, something like an Oreo, and then one Oreo turned to 12. And I said, listen, you are not a bodybuilder. You're not competing. It is not a good idea to just hardcore restrict yourself. Like, it's okay. Like, you're training now. You're doing cardio. You're dieting. If you want to have some chocolate here and there. Huh? The licensed fans that I did eat a lot of bullshit. Yeah, he was eating a lot of nonsense. And so, anywho, I got him some chocolate, so he was happy. But sorry guys. I'm done. Energy's gone. Webinar went fantastic. Now I'm about to have a sad meal. That's all it's sad when it's just tilapia and green beans. And then after this sad meal, I will show you some of the other things that I do for recovery. Lo is going to help work out the right side of like my abdominal and my lower, what is it? Upper right glute. I can't think straight. And then I'll also show you the little TENS machine that we like to use. Okay, so remember I was talking about, although it's a rest day, you still don't want to slow down. You want to move your body. You want to hit your step count. Before we wind down and get to the rest of the recovery, I am at 8,012 steps for the day. We're going to hit 10K. So Lo and I are going to go outside for just like a little light walk so I can hit my 10K step count. Honestly, I just want to go lay down, but we can't because we got things to do. So I'm going to do that first. All right, because I'm an honest woman and a woman of my word. You see that? Oh. Stop being blurry. Why is it blurry? This is annoying. See that? 10,483. Walking the walk. Walk it like I talk it. I'm losing my words. Anywho, all I'm saying is you gotta practice what you preach. Steps hit. I'm exhausted. Okay. We cannot forget hydration. Hydration. As a bodybuilder, you're drinking a gallon a day, non-negotiable. If you're not a bodybuilder, you do not need as much water as we do. Now me, the way I'm set up, I'm the type of person where if I walk to the mailbox, I'm sweating. My mailbox is right outside of my door. Like I don't even have to walk outside. Open my door is right there. I'm a sweater. So with that means I have to make sure I keep myself hydrated, and per my blood work, we saw that my electrolytes are really low, which makes sense because I think I have enough salt on my food and I don't. So I am someone that has to extra salt my food on top of making sure that I am maintaining my hydration. So something that has helped me a ton with my recovery is, first of all, before I even get into the gym, already start off hydrated. There have been so many times where I've gotten to the gym and I just didn't have enough water in me, and I was struggling with just fading out halfway through. I didn't know if it was just like my sugar dropping. So I do keep like Sour Patch Kids in my gym bag just in case, because it was happening a lot. But once I started making sure that I was hydrating before I even got to the gym, and then also, Marillo, can you pass me that Lesion product over there? What you munching on? Sour Patchies? No, Lesion over there, please. I have started doing a intra workout. No, Lesion. No, read. There you go. I said the Lesion product.
I know, but the other ones are Lesion too. So
no, they're not, Murillo. Whew. Okay, what was I saying? Intra workout. So sipping on some electrolytes mid-workout helps me a ton. Some people do the intra workout with carbs. I would do that, but because carbs are low right now, I'm not doing that. So this Lesion product right here, I've been using it for a hot minute now. However, I was not consistent with it. Now I am consistent. So what it is, it's a post-workout drink.
here's what I'm doing. Okay, I break the rules. So I'll get myself a shaker bottle. I'll do a scoop of this. This is for muscle recovery, and it also has creatine in it, okay? So I will do this in a shaker bottle with water, and then I will put some salt in it with a Gatorade package for just like electrolytes, and I will sip on this while I am working out, and it keeps me, first of all, hydrated. And I have also noticed this on top of everything else that I've been consistent with, it has helped me tremendously with recovery. So if you're someone who is like me and you just struggle with recovering, especially after a lower body day, highly recommend. Of course, Legion, you can use my code Amberp, and that's going to get you 20% off your first order. Okay? So, it's like what? Basically 2 days later? I started this on Sunday with the intentions of finishing it on Sunday. It is Tuesday, and it is going on 7:30 p.m. Y'all saw I was basically toast. I was through. I was tired. We are definitely getting leaner because I'm feeling it. My body wants to slow down. Yesterday, because here's the thing, like if you're someone who thinks you're gonna have great I can't even speak. If you're someone who thinks you're going to have great gym sessions all the time, yeah, no. Even in off season, I still every once in a while will have a gym session where I'm like, ooh, this was trash. So yesterday was shoulders, which no, yesterday was glutes. And it always throws me off when I'm excited and I'm like, yeah, hyped to lift. And I start going and I'm like, yo, where's my strength? I just thought maybe it was an off day today, but shoulders. Shoulders, one of my strongest lifts. I'm pretty strong. Everything was heavy. 10-pound dumbbells are heavy. So I think it's officially safe to say strength has left the building. That's all right. Again, we're not pushing for growth. We're not pushing for PRs. Get in, get a pump, and move on, shall we? So, anywho, last couple of pieces for recovery. I'm sure all of you guys know and use this bad boy, the foam roller. This is essential. I love using the foam roller, especially before I train glutes. So I will use it on my quads, well, just lower body in general. So foam roller on my quads. I'll use it on my glutes, lower back. You should be doing this. You should be doing this. I'll even sometimes lay down and I can get my lats really good as well. If you don't have one, you need one. And also, this yoga wheel. This right here is amazing. So how it works is, let me put y'all on the flow with me. This is fantastic for flexibility in your back, for posing, okay? So all I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put this down here. And if you're someone who really struggles with twisting, or you just have a lack thereof flexibility, you need this. And you just roll and you lay back. And this is going to really help with that lower back mobility, flexibility, and it gives it a really, really nice stretch as well. The other thing that I have been implementing, we actually just got a new one when we went to the Arnold Attends machine. Now, I can't give you all the scientific ins and outs, right? If you watch me, you don't watch me for that kind of stuff because that's just simply not what I do here. I stay in my zone of genius. However, I have been using this, especially for just like my lower back. My back has been a problem. When I got body work done, we found out that I was having just this upper glute tightness just simply because my erectors and just all the way up, my whole back was tight, right? So when I'm working, it's difficult because obviously like we can't control the height of a customer, right? And so when I'm working at Sephora, I don't have my normal setup. Like my setup when I'm at shows or doing a wedding, whatever the case may be, like I have a chair that is the appropriate height for me. I'm 5'8". I'm really tall. So if I don't have a tall chair, what's going to happen is it's going to hurt my neck, it's going to hurt my back. Long story long,
the chairs at work be hurting me because they're short, and then if the client is short, it's just this whole situation. And I just find that by the end of the weekend, my back is all jacked up. So Murillo will put the TENS machine on me, and it just pulses, and it just really, really helps to work that area. I will see if I can find the link to the one that we have if y'all are interested in it. This isn't our first time with one. We had one at our old house that we had in Mint Hill. That was like what, back in 2021 we had one. No clue what happened to it, but we got a new one and I love this thing. And then last and certainly not least, the most important thing, girl, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Just go to sleep, okay? Sleep is so underestimated. I can't tell you how many check-ins I've had where my coach will respond, go to sleep. You need more sleep. And again, that's the beauty of like when you have been working with a coach for so long, just like you know your body, they know your body too. So my coach can look at me, and if, you know, maybe my weight went up or things are kind of in a plateau, that's the first thing she's going to check first, your sleep and your digestion. If I didn't go to the bathroom, then we know we're holding water from that, right? Which was very much so the case for this past check-in on Monday. If I didn't get sleep, we know nothing. Nothing is happening. And honestly, that was a huge hindering factor when I was trying to prep last season, last year, 2024. My stress was so high, your girl was not sleeping. Just not sleeping. And when I don't sleep, nothing happens. And especially when we have the combination for me of sleep with stress, everything will just full stop. She can lower the food, she can up the cardio, just nothing will happen. My body will stop. So please make sure you get some sleep. Sleeping is where the muscle growth happens, right? So we're tearing up our muscles, we're doing all the things, and then you need to recover. The recovery process, in order to build and in order to grow the muscle, you got to go to sleep. If you don't go to sleep, all that work that you did basically is obsolete, all right? And manage your stress the best way that you can. The best piece of advice that I have for managing stress that has helped me, and it's kind of a no-brainer, but easier said than done, I let go of things that are out of my control. I realized a lot of the things that I was just stressing about, it was stuff that I can't do anything about. And so it's just kind of like, girl, cast all your worries onto the Lord. Go to him. He will give you rest. Just let it go. I can't do nothing about it. Let it go. Or even some situations, I just have to ask myself, am I executing this? Am I doing the best that I possibly can without burning myself out? Because ain't nobody burning themselves out no more. If the answer is yes, girl, keep going. There is also a new pod episode out on rest, and y'all know we're diving into the biblical aspect of rest and Sabbath, so I'll be sure to leave that down below for y'all to listen to as well. That's it for the video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. By the time this goes up, we should be 9 weeks out, which is wild. 9 weeks out. I announced it on my Instagram. Not sure if I talked about it on the tube, but y'all know. More content coming. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Take care of yourself and cast when we're net.